Now starts her seeking.
Javed Saab, you have to not be theatrical with me.
Okay.
We live in a country
Yeah.
of great faiths. You are part of a creative space that very often expresses stories through faith. You're a committed rationalist. You know, if we see the finiteness of faith, would you accept that there's a finiteness to just reason as well?
First of all, I think before starting any discussion, one should always decide on the meaning of words. Maybe you mean something by faith and I am understanding something else. What is faith? And what is the difference between faith and belief? I believe I am in Goa. I believe there is a place called North Pole. I believe that Ethiopia is a poor country. I believe that Germany is a rich country. Is it my faith? Why it is not my faith? I'll tell you why it is not my faith and why it is my belief, because it is reasonable. Anything, any belief which is devoid of logic, reason, rational, evidence, witness, that is faith. Anything which is devoid of all the logic, all the reason, all the ration, all the witness, all the evidence, that is faith. And I really wonder what is the difference between faith and stupidity, because that is, stupidity has the same definition. I am willing to accept belief, but it has to have some rationale, some reason. If you don't have any, you disarm me from reason, logic. Now, when you say that whatever a mind is accumulated, my body is accumulated, that is not me. It is like saying that as long as you can peel the onion, you are not finding the onion. These skins are the onion. This accumulation is me. If you eradicate this accumulation, I don't exist. That's all.
Javed Saab.
I think I should respond to this.
Okay, all right.
Now, you being in Nagpur right now, for sure is your belief. But you being in Goa right now is a reality, which you better grasp.
Sadhguruji, just give me a moment. There's a reverberation here and we can't really hear each other. Could you just turn the speakers towards us? Or maybe give Sadhguruji another mic because we can't
Not
really
that I can't understand him, I can't even hear him.
I don't know about the battle between faith and reason, but wit certainly has its place in society.
Probably the microphones are arranged in such a way because anyway, even if you hear, you may not understand.
Thanks for the compliment, sir.
Gayatri, yeah, so it'll have come on.
So,
yeah, that's
Better.
now I'll repeat for you. You believing that you're in Nagpur is for sure belief. But you're in Goa is a reality. Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, that's how it is. So there is a difference between reality and belief. If you think whatever you believe is true, I want you to understand, we can make you believe just about anything. If you work hard enough on you, we can make you believe anything. And when you believe just about anything, that is what we are referring to as faith. Or it's passing off as religion or faith. We'll come to this. Now…
No, just a second. I'll have
Javed
to…
Saab,
No,
may I remain
no
the
lecture.
moderator? Javed
I'll
Saab.
give the point, sorry.
Javed
I have
Saab.
to answer this. No
Javed
lecture.
Saab, let me be the moderator.
One point,
Javed sir.
I'll answer.
Yes, but let
With-
me.
I-
I will. I will.
No parivachans.
I will. May
Our
I?
beliefs
May I?
can be wrong.
May I
Our
retain?
beliefs can be wrong,
Sir,
maybe based on wrong logic.
The people
wrong
in the
reason.
audience, may I
it can be
retain-
corrected. But
Javed sir,
faith
just a
cannot
minute.
be corrected because it is not based on any logic.
May I retain the aesthetics? May I retain the aesthetics of this session? I really don't need anybody telling me that I'm not going to let him talk. I will let him talk. Can we please keep the aesthetics of this alive? So,
So this whole presumption and the way this is going is coming from a certain fundamental presumption. Because even when I met Javed Sahab last time, he was telling me that some guru told him not to use his mind. I do not know which guru said this. One thing is clear, the advice has been taken seriously.
Javed sir,
Why have you taken him seriously?
why have you taken him seriously?
I promise you, Guruji, I have never taken any guru seriously. I have not taken any guru seriously, I promise you that.
In the rich tradition, in the… Sadhguruji, one quick question. I think my colleague is going to ring the bell any minute. You know, I saw a film recently in America made by a young man, and it's called The True Story of a Fake Guru. He dressed himself up as a guru, and he went and he met a whole lot of people. He listened to their sorrows, he listened to their stories. He put 3 pictures in front of them. He brought them into this sense of ecstasy and elation, and they began to transform themselves. They completely believed in him, and they began to follow him. They felt that they arrived at a safe harbor. At the end of the film, and they're being filmed through this whole journey, at the end of it,
I know
he
about
reveals
this movie.
himself. You know about him.
Yes.
He reveals himself. He's just a young man from
Yes.
Phoenix. What is the answer to that, Sadhguru?
See, this is why I want you to make a distinction between faith and a spiritual process. Faith is just a set of beliefs. Spiritual process begins only when you realize that you do not know the fundamentals of your existence. A seeking begins. When a seeking begins and you find your sense organs and your logic only takes you to a certain point and it's not willing to help you beyond that, then when you come to a dead end, you know there is something beyond but you're at a dead end, then you will want to know a process. So then somebody who has experienced it will offer a process. This is all it is. Now, in society, it might have found all kinds of distortions. You're picking up a bad apple and talking about apples.
Sadhguru, consumption in this universe, in this earth, is really becoming something unsustainable. What kind of spirituality is it that does not talk about the finite end of consumption? You know, even as a method, even as a process, that is not part of Isha Foundation at all.
See, we are always trying to curtail human aspirations, it'll never work. If I tell somebody, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that, they will not do that. They'll anyway continue to do it or other kinds of compulsions will take them over. But if you teach them a method through which they're able to manage the chemistry of who they are, today there is substantial medical and scientific evidence, it is no more belief system. There is substantial scientific and medical evidence. Today, research has gone into the University of California, has done an enormous research on the simple Shambhavi Mahamudra, the basic practice that we teach. 3 months of practice, the neuronal rejuvenation in your brain is 241% more than the average, okay? There are any number of things like this. Now, the chemical soup that you are, you can either make it very blissful or miserable. So if you are blissful by your own nature, then all the compulsiveness will naturally drop. Whether you're going shopping or you're digging up the planet or you're seeking something else, essentially it is just this, a human being is longing to be. A human being is longing to be something more than what he is right now. But if that more happens, he wants more. If you really look at it, a human being cannot settle unless he has all of it. If you want all of it, approaching it through physical means is a hopeless means. The desire is fine, but the method is hopeless. So spiritual process means you have offered him the right method, right process for the same desire.
Javed Sahib, you wanted to say something?
I really find it highly amusing. It's very interesting that it is in religion, it is in spirituality. The moment they find something in science which is compatible, they start respecting science. They say, look, now even the science has accepted it. But the moment science is opposing them, then it is not credible at all. And it is the history. There was a question which I missed that time, that we have to understand through spiritualism that why we are in this universe. What are we doing here? Why have we come here? I don't want to comment about anybody else's presence. But Guruji, I know why I'm in this universe, and the reason is unprintable.
And the reason is?
Unprintable.
Unprintable.
It is a pompous question that why I am in this universe. It is a pompous question what I am doing here. Have you ever thought of a mosquito? Why this mosquito is here in this world? Why this cockroach is here? There is, as far as life quality is concerned, there is no difference between a rodent and a human being, between a mosquito and a human being. The only difference is the mind. And this is the difference they want to eradicate.
Obviously, this has no relevance to whatever I'm speaking. It looks like it's not even being heard. So, the thing is, the significant aspect of human life is that human life is replete with possibilities which other creatures are not capable of. Every other creature on this planet is fulfilled when its survival process is fulfilled. There is something about a human being that it does not settle with survival. What is called as human begins only after survival is taken care of. So the longing to be an endless expansion cannot be settled by the simplicity of thought. Thought is just a product of the data that we have gathered. And whatever you may know, it is still too limited. That much is established by science. So about science and spiritual process ever being head-on with each other, such a thing has never happened. It is just that you have not been exposed to the right things. As I said earlier, you eat a bad apple and you make conclusions about all apples. It's an unfortunate reality of one's life.